Welcome to my channel. Understanding Political Theory, BA, Social Contract Theory. Please subscribe, like, and share my channel. Many theories have been put forward to explain the origin of state. Among them, mention may be made of divine right force, social contract, evolutionary, etc. Theories Social contract theory is very valuable and important theory. For about 5 centuries, it dominated the mind of intellectuals and has played a very important role in modern political theory and practice. Statement of the theory. It simply states that state is not a growth but a make. It is not make. It is not by God but deliberately and voluntarily created by man. It has came into existence not by force but by consent or agreement. According to this theory, in the beginning men were living in the state of nature. For various reasons they were not satisfied with it. So they made a contract and entered into a civil society or state. In short, it maintains that society comes into existence by a contract. History of the theory. The idea that state has come into existence through an agreement among the people is not a new idea. Sophists in Greece, Kautilya in India, and the Epicurean philosophers said the same thing. In Bible, there are many instances of convenience made between people and the king. According to Roman law and the Greek philosophers, all authority belongs to the people. In the Middle Ages, Manigold the king was elected through a contract. From the 11th to the 16th century, it was popularized by George Buckman, Grotius, Hooker, and many others. Among them, Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau are very important. They are regarded as the fathers of social contract theory. They made it more logical and discussed it is very elaborately and exhaustively. There are 3 elements in the social contract theory. 1. State of nature. 2. Contract or convenient. 3. Civil society. While 3 writers agree of fundamentals, they differ in details. It is discussed below. State of nature. Before the state came into existence, men were living in a state of nature. According to Hobbes, state of nature was both pre-social and pre-political. It was an organized society, but there was no government, no man-made rulers, and no common authority. For Rousseau, it was a state of ideal innocence and bliss. Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau describe the state of nature in different ways. Hobbes painted in a very dark and gloomy picture of it. It was a state of war and rivalry. Kill whom you can. Take what you can. No arts, no commerce, no justice, and no morality. Naturally, the life of man become solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Locke said that men in the state of nature were social and peaceful. They had natural rights, right to life, liberty, and property. But unfortunately, there was no common authority to protect them. So, there was no security for those rights. In short, state of nature according to Locke was a state of insecurity. The Rousseau, it was a state of ideal innocence and bliss. Man was neither moral nor immoral. He was a moral. He was simple, happy, and contented. Soon these conditions changed to the dawn on civilization and establishment of private property. He became selfish and wicked, corrupt, cruel, and cunning. Social contract. According to Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau, for different reasons, people were not satisfied with the state of nature, so they made a contract to establish a state and led a richer, fuller, and happier life. These writers, however, differ on the nature of contract. According to Hobbes, there was only one contract. It was made by the people themselves. By this contract, they established both the state and the government. According to Locke, there were two contracts. The first contract, called social contract, was made by people themselves. By this established a civil society. The second contract, called government contract or political contract, was made between the people and the rulers. The Rousseau, like Hobbes, there was one contract made by the people. By this, they established a civil society, that is, state. Sovereign or supreme power. From the pre social and pre political state of nature, people entered through a contract into a civil society. They surrendered their rights to the sovereign and in return got liberty, security, and order. Here again, these three writers differ. For Hobbes, sovereignty is indivisible, inalienable, and absolute. People had completely surrendered their rights to a sovereign. His will was law, and law was his command. In short, Hobbes plead for absolute monarchy. Locke plead for limited government or constitutional monarchy. For him, community is the sovereign and government is only a trust. If it violates the contract, people have the right to rebel against it and change it. For Rousseau, general will is sovereign. He with Locke and ended with Hobbes. His sovereign is as responsible as Locke's and as despotic as Hobbes' sovereign. He pleads for direct democracy and popular sovereignty.